Peace, everyone. Welcome back to Giganomics. If you watched the hospital video, you know how to land hospital contracts. If you watched the pharmacy video, you know how to land pharmacy contracts. But there's a third door that most people walk right past, and it connects both of them. I'm talking about lab courier contracts, because every hospital sends specimens to a lab, and every pharmacy receives results from one. The lab is the hub, and if you own the route between the hospital, the pharmacy, and the lab, you own the whole triangle. Today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to close that loop. Let's jump into it. Now, if you've been rocking with this channel, then you already know we're building something bigger than gig apps. Hospital contracts, that was door number one. You negotiate directly, you set your price, and you own your relationship. Pharmacy contracts, that was door number two. Independent pharmacies, specialty pharmacies, and long-term care pharmacies. All of them need reliable drivers, and they paying $30 to $50 an hour. But here's what most people are still missing. Hospitals don't test everything in-house. Pharmacies don't just receive medications, they send out lab orders as well. There's a whole network of laboratories sitting between these facilities. They processing specimens, running tests, and generating results that need to move back and forth every single day. And that movement equals a route, and a route equals recurring revenue. Now, before you say, but Corey, doesn't Quest and LabCorp already handle all of that? I'm gonna stop you right there, because that's only half true, and half the truth is keeping you from half your income. Let me break it down. There's three types of labs you need to understand, and each one has a different opportunity for you. Type 1 is reference labs. That's your Quest Diagnostics and your LabCorp. These are big companies with massive operation. They process millions of specimens a year. And yes, they have their own fleet of drivers. They also contract with regional carrier companies when their fleet can't cover everything. So things like stat pickups, route coverage, and even overflow help. And those regional carrier companies, they hire independent contractors, and that could be you. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to find those companies in a minute. Type 2 is hospital labs. And these are the labs that's inside hospitals that process the routine stuff. So things like blood work, urinalysis, and basic panels. You already know how to get hospital contracts from the first video, but here's the added layer. When a hospital lab can't process something or will need a specialized test, they send it out to a reference lab, and somebody got to move that specimen from the hospital to the reference lab. If you already got the hospital contract, you can add that route. Same client, more income on the same trip. Type 3 is the one that's going to change things for you. Independent and physician office labs. These are smaller operations compared to your Quest Diagnostics and your LabCorp. Regional labs and doctor office labs, they refer to as POLs, physician office laboratories. So places like urgent care centers with on-site testing, dialysis center, and even fertility clinics. All these places run tests. All of them generate specimens, and almost none of them have their own delivery fleet. In smaller areas, their volume doesn't equal up to a LabCorp or Quest bottom line. They get overlooked and end up calling whoever can show up reliably, and that person could be you. Now here's where it gets interesting. Let's focus on POLs and independent labs for a second, because this is where the money is hiding. A POL is a lab inside a doctor office that runs basic diagnostic tests. So things like blood counts, glucose panels, and urinalysis. The simple stuff, but it keeps their business moving without them having to send everything out. Now, here's the thing about POLs. When they do send specimens out for like specialized tests, confirmations, or for anything they can't process in-house, they need someone to pick it up and deliver it to a reference lab or a hospital lab. And most of them don't have a dedicated courier. They're using whatever they can find. That's not a system at all. That's the problem. And every problem needs a solution. This is your chance to position yourself as the solution. Independent regional labs, they have the same story. They process specimens from dozens of doctor offices, clinics, and healthcare facilities in the area. So they need those specimens picked up and delivered to their lab on schedule every day. That's the beginning of a recurring route. This is also your opportunity to present your retainer, or at the very least, it's the start of an income stream for you. These labs are not overwhelmed with courier applications. They're struggling to find reliable people. And how do I know? Because I'm out here and I'm doing it every single day. Walking in labs, speaking to pharmacists, and getting direct contracts. You show up professionally, compliant, and consistent. You're not just getting the contract, you becoming a go-to. Here's my playbook, and it's step by step with no gatekeeping. Step 1, build your lab list. Go to Google Maps, search independent laboratories near me, search urgent care with on-site labs, search dialysis center, search fertility clinics, and search regional reference labs. Write down every facility within the 20-mile radius. You want their name, their address, and their phone number. Skip Quest and LabCorp locations for now. We'll come back to those. You want the decision makers that's in the building. 2, get your paperwork right. The same 4 things I told you in the hospital video. Your LLC, you need it. Commercial auto insurance, you need that too. You also need to be HIPAA certified, and you need both courses, privacy and security. And don't forget your bloodborne pathogen certifications. Put all 4 of them in a professional folder, have a digital version and physical copies as well. When you walk into a lab manager office with that folder, you're not just a guy with a car, you're a business, and that's how they'll treat you. Step 3, walk in or call POLs and independent labs. And this is how you're gonna do it. You're gonna walk in, you're gonna ask for the office manager or the lab supervisor. Introduce yourself, hand them a 1-page flyer that includes who you are, your vehicle, your insurance, and your service area with 1 sentence at the bottom. I specialize in reliable, professional specimen transport for healthcare facilities, and that's your groundwork. For regional reference labs, you're gonna call first. You're gonna ask for the logistic coordinator or the specimen receiving manager. Once you get them, use the same pitch over the phone. Step 4 is the most important step that most of y'all skip, and that's the follow-up. After 5 days, don't send an email. You're gonna call or walk back in. And if you have to, you can leave a voicemail, 30 seconds max. Hey, this is Corey. I stopped by last week about specimen transport. I'd love to connect when you have 5 minutes, and that's it. Most drivers don't do this, but if you do, that's gonna be the exact reason why you win at it. Now let me address the elephant in the room. What about Quest and what about LabCorp? They're the big dogs of the industry. And yes, they do hire medical carriers directly as employees. So if you're cool with W-2 work, benefits, maybe even a company vehicle and a steady schedule, that's absolutely an option for you. LabCorp has carrier position posted right now. Quest does too. But if you want to stay independent, and if you've been watching this channel, I already know most of y'all do. So here's the move that nobody talk about. Quest and LabCorp, they both outsource a lot of their overflow work and route coverage to regional carrier companies. And those regional companies, they the ones hiring 1099 independent contractors. And that's how you enter this industry, through the back door. So how do you find them? It's simple. Search things like medical carrier company near me or specimen transport service near me. The company that shows up in those results, it's not Quest and it's not LabCorp. It's the regional partners. And trust me, they need contractors. Apply to those companies, position yourself correctly, tell them you HIPAA aware, you bloodborne pathogen certified, you insured, you professional, and you ready for work. That combination is going to immediately separate you from the average app driver. And here's the part I really want you to understand. You stay independent, but at the same time, you getting paid for real world industry training. You start learning medical procedures, chain of custodies, facility protocols, dispatch communication, and how healthcare logistics actually work behind the scenes. You begin hearing different languages, things like reference labs, POLs, transport media, specimen handling, and basic panels. Terms that sound confusing now, but eventually become second nature because you start hearing them every single day. And honestly, that's how I had to learn, by being hands-on. And one more thing, nothing prepares you better to start a business than understanding the real inner workings of the industry you're trying to enter into. That's why I try to give y'all alternatives on this channel. A way to get your feet wet if you need it, a way to learn the system, a way to learn the flow, a way to learn the language, and a way to learn the business while someone else is paying you to learn it. Because once you understand how this industry actually operates, you're no longer just trying to side hustle, you're now building towards something real. Now, let me tell you the #1 mistake that people make when they go at the lab contracts. And it's the same mistake I made early on. They treat it like a one-time delivery instead of a relationship. Lab work is recurring work. These facilities need specimens picked up every single day, every single week. So when you walk in that door, don't pitch a single run. Pitch a route, pitch a schedule, and pitch reliability. Say this: I could be here every morning at 7:15 for pickup. Same time, same person. You won't have to call and you won't have to wonder. I'll be here. That sentence is worth more than any certification, because what labs are really buying, it's not your car. They buying your consistency. And the courier who shows up on time every time, communicate proactively, and never make them worry, that courier owns the contract. Also, name your price first. For a daily pickup route, 3 to 5 stops, same area, 5 days a week, you should be quoting $750 to $1,200 a week as a retainer. Don't charge by the mile. That's for amateurs. You charge by the route package. And the first person to name a number, remember, sets the anchor. Look, you got the hospital playbook, you got the pharmacy playbook, and now you got the lab playbook. 3 doors, 1 triangle. And when you connect all 3, hospital, pharmacy, and labs, you're not just a courier anymore. You're a logistic network for your local area. The people still refreshing DoorDash at midnight, they renting their time. You building a business. There's a big difference. I've done it, did it, and I'm currently doing it. As I want you to walk away with today. Lab contracts, They're not harder than hospital contracts. It's not more complicated than pharmacy contracts. It's just the one most people skip, and that's because they think Quest and LabCorp already have it covered, and they don't. It's not even close. This approach, it cuts the middleman out, and you don't need no gig apps. You never did. If you missed the hospital video, watch it right here. If you missed the pharmacy video, you're gonna watch it right here as well. Complete the triangle, stack your route, and build your business. If you found some value in this video, hit the like, hit the share, leave a comment. And until next time, y'all stay safe, stay blessed, get to your hustle. Peace.